Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are immersing ourselves in in two scenes of incredible contrast.
That's a good way to put it.
On one hand, we have the world of high-stakes, hyper-calculated transactions happening right near Boston.
Total operational security.
And then just a short trip away in Enfield, Massachusetts, you have the complete opposite. The raw, chaotic, emotional environment of a recovery house.
And the source material we have is just extraordinary. It gives us these factual snapshots of what's happening in both places pretty much at the same time.
Yeah, we have these detailed logs of an operative's movements, Michael Pemulus. We have notes on an incredibly dangerous compound. And then these transcripts from Minute House.
They're almost painful to read. So we're treating every single detail, a bus route, a coded phrase, a desperate question, as evidence. We want to understand the human factor, what drives both that level of control and that level of crisis.
Let's start with Pemulus, because right from the jump, his travel plan alone tells you everything. This is not a simple trip.
Oh, not at all. It's more like a choreography of paranoia. Think about it. He starts in Inman Square, Cambridge. He takes a bus to Central, which he needs to do.
Okay, standard enough.
But then he gets on a totally unnecessary bus to Davis Square.
Why?
Just to get on a train to go back to Central. The whole loop, according to the documents, is designed for one reason, to throw off the slightest possible chance of pursuit.
So he's operating under the assumption that he could be followed at any moment.
Absolutely. This is an amateur hour, and that paranoia, or professionalism, extends to how he dresses. He's got the button-fly chinos, an ETA shirt, a really nice blue Brioni sport coat.
And the hat, the Mr. Howell hat.
The hat is the key. It looks like a simple white yachting cap, but it has a detachable lining.
Which is really a discrete storage unit.
Exactly. For portable quantities of just about anything, it's brilliant. It's the definition of unfoolish discretion. And we know he's already taken 150 milligrams of mild dryins.
Right. I wanted to ask about that. He takes them after the transaction. Is that to celebrate, or is it tactical?
I think it's tactical. It's functional. He needs to stay sharp, elevated. For the extraction part of the mission, sure, there's maybe a little celebration in there, but it's a calculated move to keep his performance high after a huge adrenaline dump. He is, as the source says, nobody's fool.
Okay, so he finally gets to Park Saint Station, and his ride is a tow truck. A tow truck. I mean, is that really inconspicuous? Or does it just draw more attention?
I think it's a kind of genius. It's blending in plain sight. It's cheap to park in that underground lot, and it gives him this working class cover that lets him slide under the radar.
It's another layer of his operational security.
A huge layer. And you see that discipline again when he gets near the academy. He has a rigid policy. He will not deal with the Ennet House employees.
He sees them as a risk, a contamination.
Precisely. He's worried about court orders, surprise drug tests, just the general chaos they bring. His focus is on longevity, not a quick, risky sale to some low-rent employee.
Okay, so he finally gets to the dorm, West House Subdorm B. He can hear the dining hall below, and he makes the call.
And the person on the other end, Hallen Condenza, he's just as calculated. He's sitting there reading Hamlet in the window light, and he waits. He waits for the third ring.
Like a girl at home on Saturday night. It's so stylized.
It's a countermove to Pemulus's paranoia. It says, I'm cool, I'm ready, but I'm not desperate.
And the coded exchange is, it's perfect. Pemulus says, the turd emergeth. Repeat, the turd emergeth.
Chilling. And Hal's response, just as casual, please commit a crime.
It's an order and a confirmation all in one.
And Pemulus's final signal, as he's literally develcroing the hat lining, gracious me, the package is delivered.
And that package is DMZ. The descriptions we have of this stuff are, frankly, frightening. It's so potent they struggle to even classify it.
Yeah, it's somewhere between a paramethoxylated amphetamine and an anticholinergic deliriant. But what makes it so terrifying isn't just that it's powerful, like mescaline or MDMA.
It's something else. The source says it's less visual.
Right.
It's more temporally cerebral and ontological.
Let's unpack ontological. That sounds profoundly disturbing.
It is. Ontology is the study of being, of existence.
Yeah.
So DMZ doesn't just mess with what you see or feel. It fundamentally alters your relationship to time itself. And to your own sense of self, it changes the nature of your being.
Wow. No wonder they say the chemist who accidentally synthesized it went into early retirement and serious unblinking wall watching?
Yes, the same Sandoz chemist who found LSD stumbled on this, apparently from a mold called Fitviavi. And this discovery basically broke him. That one detail tells you everything about its power. Its reputation is Well, it's called the single grimmest thing ever conceived in a tube.
And it's incredibly rare. The hardest thing to get in North America besides raw Vietnamese opium.
And locally, they call it Madame Psychosis.
After a radio host at MIT.
Yeah, a cult personality on the student station. Which is just, it's a perfect detail, isn't it? It connects this substance that shatters reality with the pinnacle of intellectual academic life in Cambridge. It's the ultimate escape for the overthinker. An escape into total breakdown. Which is a good transition, actually. If DMZ is a chemical path to breakdown, let's look at a physical and psychological one. The life of this young athlete, this feral prodigy.
Yes. We're moving from Pemulus's world of calculated control to a different kind of control, one that is just agonizing.
The daily routine is brutal. It starts at dawn, hidden about 1,000 serves to no one.
It's not just training, it's almost monastic. A life of enforced pain.
And full of these specific ingrained habits.
Yeah.
Like the keys trick.
Forcing that smooth follow-through by scooping keys up off the court. And the text links that specific habit to the death of the man years ago. So the pressure is immense. It's not just about being a good player. It's about living up to a legacy tied to this deep tragedy.
And the physical toll it's horrific. His right forearm is described as a gorilla's arm from squeezing a tennis ball for years.
Completely disproportionate. And they talk about being pushed so hard by himself during drills that they would be forced to vomit.
The body is just a machine to be broken down and rebuilt. He's on muscle relaxants, Motrin, Epsom salts, just to function. The source mentions weeping in bed from the pain of a torn ankle.
It's just sustained, intentional suffering. And it's all built on this really brutal philosophy from his father, the idea that talent is a dark gift.
Right, it has its own expectation. You either live up to it or you lose it.
And he's stuck in this feral and flux-ridden state because he knows even his father, who did live up to it, wasn't any happier or tighter wrapped.
So the only way to survive, the only escape is to stop thinking.
Exactly. The goal is to practice until it all becomes automatic, to turn talent into an unconscious exercise, a long waking dream of pure play. It's basically a structured way to dissociate from the pressure.
Which requires total isolation. The source is very clear. Make no extramural friends. Actively push people away.
The excuses he's supposed to use are just, they're so specific and so sad, telling a girl he can't go out because he has to jog backwards through Newton till I puke.
It's designed to be so weird that nobody will ask again.
Right. It's aggressive self-isolation. It's about protecting that talent from what he calls the detours of so-called normal American life.
Because underneath it all is this core belief that the game is about managed fear.
The opponent is a mirror, and the goal is to send from yourself what you hope will not return. It's a war fought inside his own head.
Okay, so let's leave that world of managed fear and step into the complete opposite, the unmanaged crisis at Ennet House.
Yeah, the transcripts from Miss Montesian's interface hours, it's just, It's brutal. A total contrast. Here, crisis isn't a strategy, it's just the air they breathe.
Take the incident at dinner. The stabbing with a steak fork.
We get both sides of it, and both are coming from a place of just, overwhelming psychological pain.
The attacker says the sound of the other guy's finger drumming was the sound of a fucking mind coming apart. He felt like he had to stop it.
Right, he minimizes it, says he just sort of poked him, but his desperation is so clear. And the victim describes this sphincter-loosening shriek as he was impaled on that table.
He's demanding the guy get kicked out for unabashed bashing.
Both of them are so distressed that a minor annoyance becomes this existential threat that requires violence.
And then there's the more, surreal despair. The resident who's worried about the thing in the men's toilet.
That request is so telling. He says, if this thing was produced by anything human, then I have to say I'm really worried.
The inability to handle basic physical reality becomes a symbol for their own internal state.
Exactly. And then you have the resident who just comes in and asks if there's a special program prayer for when you want to hang yourself. Just the directness of that pain is staggering.
We also see these deep intellectual struggles with the idea of recovery itself. The personal injury attorney.
Oh, that is a masterclass in denial. He refuses to call himself an alcoholic.
Even though he admits to the pancreatitis, the memory loss, the domestic turbulence.
He's built this fortress of logic around himself. He says, I cannot deny what I don't understand, and demands a definition. It's his way of avoiding the surrender, the powerlessness.
And that powerlessness is a paradox for others, too. Alfonso says admitting he's powerless hasn't stopped him.
And the coke addict, the one whose septum has dissolved, he asks the central question. I think I already want to stop, but then So how come I can't stop if I want to stop is the thing.
It's the absolute core of the struggle. The will has failed.
And finally, that one story. The resident who had to leave his girlfriend and daughter.
Because their roommate, Doocy,
The hair-lip kid who smelled terrible. Yeah. He started talking about having sex with chickens and how she have to, like, threw them on.
that detail is just,
Wicked.
it's the bottom. The level of degradation they're fleeing from is unimaginable.
It really is. And he leaves that horror only to end up in a shelter where he gets lice. It's this grinding cycle of misery. There are no Brioni sport coats here. There is no calculated escape. There's just suffering.
So when we put it all together, Pemulus's control, the athlete's dissociation, and this raw breakdown at Ennet House, what does it all imply about how people try to escape?
I think the source material shows us two fundamentally different approaches to extreme pressure. You have the intentional, structured escape. That's Pemulus with his tradecraft. It's the Prodigy with his long waking dream of pure play. They choose their pain. They manage their risk.
And then you have Ennet House, where the escape is the crisis. They're just trying to survive the fallout, the finger drumming, the unflinchable thing, the refusal to accept a label. It's all part of this desperate, chaotic struggle.
Right. And the Prodigy is taught a very specific lesson. What is unfair can be a stern but invaluable teacher. But when you look at the residents of Ennet House, the sheer self-inflicted pain and the total lack of structure they live with, you have to ask a tough question. For people consumed by that kind of crisis, can the unfairness they live with ever really teach them anything? Or does it just break them?
That is a challenging thought to end on. We've seen so much today, from the specifics of DMZ's effect on time to the incredible precision of high-level drug operations to the raw, unfiltered honesty of people in the depths of recovery.
So as you think about this, keep observing that difference. The difference between choosing to manage your reality and fighting desperately just to survive the collapse of one. Thanks for diving deep with us.